This is an initial permanency hearing involving the Mayorga child. Mr. Turner's with us representing the child. Ms. Riley's with us representing the mother, Ms. Rodriguez, who is with us, and Ms. Grant is with us representing the father, Mr. Mayorga, who's with us.
Ms. Smith, you are St. Francis Ministries Permanency Specialist.
Yes.
In that capacity, you are familiar with Yanira Mayorga, who is the child and subject to this suit?
Yes.
Where is she currently placed?
With family.
In what community or county?
I believe it is Stratford.
Right. And is that placement meeting all of her needs at this time?
Yes. No concerns.
Making sure medical and dental appointments?
Yes, all medical and dental appointments are met and made.
Child's mother is Rebecca Rodriguez.
Yes.
And Miss Rodriguez was ordered to work services through a service plan. Has she been working the services in that service plan?
She is doing very well with her services. Yeah, she's in compliance with what St. Francis is requesting.
Any specific services that she has not started at this point in time?
None that I'm aware of.
Any specific services that we need the court to order that Ms. Rodriguez work at this time?
No, not to my knowledge.
Currently, does Ms. Rodriguez have a home that would be suitable for Yanira to be returned to?
Not at this time.
And is she looking at a different housing?
Yes, she is.
Where specifically is she looking for her housing?
The housing that she's looking to move into is in a home that would be appropriate for a child with her home bedroom below the current placement.
And are there any concerns for Ms. Rodriguez to be in that home? Any concerns from St. Francis Ministries?
Just with the proximity of being close to the child.
And have you expressed those concerns to Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Are there any additional steps that St. Francis Ministries needs to take at this point in time to help reunify Yanira with Ms. Rodriguez?
Continue monitoring and then possibly looking at a reunification plan, making that in place.
But currently, because of Ms. Rodriguez's living situation, it would be unsafe to return Yanira to Ms. Rodriguez.
There's not not saying there's just not a bedroom, her own bedroom.
So it'd be contrary to her general welfare to do so.
Correct.
Mr. Marco Mayorga is the father to Yanira. He was also ordered to work services through a service plan.
That is correct. And he signed the service plan.
And is he complying with the services in that service plan?
He has started working his services, but he has yet to complete the services.
One of the things that you've asked Mr. Mayorga to do is to continue to randomly drug screen.
That is correct.
And when was the last time that that Mr. Mayorga was drug screened?
I believe it was in September.
At that time, what kind of drug screen did you ask for?
It was give me just one moment. September. It was September 18th, and it was a hair follicle.
And were the results of that drug screen positive?
Objection as to the results of the drug screen.
This time.
And after reviewing the results of that drug screen, do you still have any concerns about possible use by Mr. Mayorga?
slight levels. Yes, we do.
And is Mr. Mayorga and Ms. Rodriguez still attempting to reunify their relationship?
I have yet to speak with Marco on that, but at this time, I do believe that that they are still a couple.
Because of the drug screens and because of the lack of continued or completion of his services, would it be unsafe to return Yanira to Mr. Mayorga at this time?
Yes,
Would it be contrary to her general welfare to do so?
that is correct.
Are there any additional services that you would ask that Mr. Mayorga complete at this time?
No additional, just completing the Padre parenting classes and completing with the drug therapy and continue with taking drug screenings as requested.
And have you discussed all those things with Mr. Mayorga so that he understands what we're asking for?
I have personally not met with Marco. I do plan on meeting with Marco later this week or next week.
You're sort of new to this case, is that right?
That is correct.
So you're just trying to get up and going on what each parent needs to do.
Yes, and it's with the work schedule and being available on a Sunday, it's making it a little difficult with working Monday through Friday.
We're asking them the court continue the department as temporary managing conservator of this child, continue providing services for the parents.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Smith, at least as of the time the report was written that I read, the parents were living together in Guyman, correct?
That is correct.
And you've already testified you had concerns about Mr. Mayorga's drug screens in September, correct?
The drug screens in September were the concerns, correct?
Right, okay. So would you say that it would be a danger to the physical health and safety of the child to be returned home to either parent today because we don't have a very long period of sobriety? Would that be a fair statement?
Your Honor, I want to go back to the statement that you had stated about them living together, because whenever I did speak, I do apologize. And I'm looking in the court report as to where that is, where I would have put that. But whenever I've never met with them together, and I don't want to speak incorrectly.
Well,
I did not ask that question.
Excuse me. What I read in the report said that mom was working at a casino in Guyman, Oklahoma, and living in an apartment with father. If you don't know if they're living together, you can say you don't know.
I don't know. Yes, I don't know if they're living together.
Okay. All right. And do you want drug tests from either parent today?
Yes, drug screen from, I did request yesterday for them to go for before noon today.
Okay. Both parents?
Yes,
Hair strand and UA, or just UA, or what?
just UA.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Ms. Riley.
Sorry, wrong button. Ms. Smith, what is the visitation schedule currently with Ms. Rodriguez?
Ms. Rodriguez is supervised visitation schedule.
How often though?
Once per week for 1 hour.
With taking into account how she's done all of her services, actively engaged in them, is there a plan to increase her visitation as we move closer to hopefully reunification?
Yes, that would be the plan moving forward.
Do you know when that would happen, or has that not been decided yet?
It has not been decided yet.
Okay. And when you say she plans to move in beneath the person that has the child, is that who is that person related to Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes, that person is related to Marco, not Miss Rodriguez.
Okay. And when you said that you have concerns, is that because of access to the child?
Just the close proximity and the being within visual of coming and goings.
Okay. Is it also though, correct that that may be a good support system for Rebecca to be able to have that person still around during times of transition and supervision?
I would not object to that.
Pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Grant?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Smith, did you request UAs only yesterday since we have a recent hair follicle?
That is correct.
And that's all you're requesting the court order today by 12?
Are you asking me or the judge?
That's all, you're just requesting confirmation the court order that be an order of the court, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and has Marco completed any of his services?
I do apologize because I have yet to meet with Marco. So as far as completions or have I received certificates, I would have to.
That's okay, that's okay. And as far as the drug test results, are you hopeful after seeing the comparisons of all of them?
Yes.
Thank you. And on Mr. Mayorga, he did have some trouble registering for one of the courses and was under threat of being discharged without contacting the provider. Do you recall that in the report?
Yes.
Do you know if that discharge occurred and we need to start over?
Discharge has not occurred. I believe that Marco has recently made contact with that provider and they are working that out due to the provider's ability to be available.
Okay, so we're still enrolled in that and we do not have to restart that after 60 days, correct?
At this time, I do not believe so.
Thank you. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. I know you're new to this. You may not have written the report I read. Have you had the case long enough that you made the report?
The report was in between, so it was
Okay.
produced prior to me, like right at the same time, but I did
Okay,
not. Yeah.
So we're talking about Mr. Mayorga, that he did 1 parenting and 4 drug risk classes for Padre, and then the report said Padre hasn't heard from him since then. Is that the one you're saying he has re-engaged with him and they did not discharge him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so he can pick up where he was, correct?
From my understanding, yes.
Okay, and then as far as you were asked if he completed any services, the report said he has done the rational behavior training, so you wouldn't dispute that, would you?
I would not dispute that, no.
Okay, I'm not trying to pick on you. I know you're new to this case, so. All right, then, Mr. Turner, questions?
Yes, Ms. Smith, are there any health or medical concerns or issues?
With the child?
Yes, with the child.
I believe there's like dental. She had a dental procedure and some stuff, and it's just we're following up on that closely. We're monitoring that closely.
Okay. Is it something that is going to be ongoing, or is it something that hopefully was resolved in the procedure?
Hopefully was resolved in the procedure that took place.
Have you been present at any of the visits with Mom?
Yes, I have.
And how did those visits go?
Appropriate.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, then, anyone have further questions for Ms. Smith?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Alba, anything further from the department?
No, Your Honor, we rest.
All right, Ms. Riley, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Grant.
None today, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Turner, recommendations?
Your Honor, I'd recommend that the department be maintained as the temporary managing conservator and that placement be continued and that visitation with Mom be increased as the court sees appropriate based upon her progress.
Okay. All right, then, based on what I've heard today, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, continue Yanira's current placement. I'll order both parents to UA drug screen by noon today. And I will approve. I don't know how much we can do it. I don't know how their visitation's set up, but I will approve additional visitation for Ms. Rodriguez. I'll leave that up to St. Francis and Ms. Rodriguez to figure out how to do that. So, all right,
Judge,
then. Yes.
I do have a question. My hair follicle and my UAs have been clean.
Ma'am, you can't tell me what your test results are. That's
Oh, I'm
hearsay.
sorry. Well, my question is today is if there was any chance that I would be able to move back into the home with Yanira and her grandma.
Ms. Smith, what's the department's position on that? Or do you have to staff it? There's that 4-letter word.
I think, as stated before, no objection to her being able, like, the grandmother would be a great, role model example. But I believe I would have to get approval.
Well, grandma's got 2 kids that from another CPS case with mom, correct?
Grandma, no, this is paternal. This is dad's mom.
Oh, I thought I read the report that said that paternal grandmother had the 2 other children. Is it the maternal grandmother that has the others?
Maternal.
It's the paternal grandmother that's the father of the other children. There's a different father to the other children.
Oh, okay, that's the deal. I thought it was the same parents. All right, well, I'll just let you staff it then. I won't order that today. It sounds to me like I don't know that I necessarily have a problem with it, but I'm not sure the proximity issue. I'm not sure I understand that completely. So if you staff it and it's approved, I'll go ahead and approve. If the department, St. Francis recommends it, I'll go ahead and approve it today. If they don't, then maybe we'll have to have a hearing on that. So I don't have enough information today to go ahead and order that change of placement. So, or for mom to move in. So, okay, our next hearing will be a review hearing that will be on February 18th, 2026. That will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing. So the parties can either talk to their lawyers or anybody can go on the court's online docket a day or two before February 18th to see what time of day we'll have that hearing. Okay, that will conclude this hearing. For those of you involved, I'll be back here in about 5 or 10 minutes to call a Gray County permanency hearing involving the Lewis children. So we will be in recess. Everybody have a good weekend. This is a permanency hearing involving the Lewis children. Mr. Harris is with us representing the children. Ms. Grant is with us representing the father. Mr. Garcia, he is not with us. And Mr. Denham represents the mother, Miss Lewis. Neither one of them are with us. Ms. Grant, have you had any conversations with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, he works and sometimes is hit or miss getting on Zooms.
Okay, well, I say that for this reason is we've got Mr. Perales here to interpret, and he's showing up every time and your client's not. So from now on, if Mr. Garcia doesn't commit to being at the hearing, I'm not going to make Mr. Perales come. Just so.
Okay.
If
Thank you, Judge.
If we don't know, let's say 5 days in advance, we're not going to schedule Mr. Perales, and then your client will just have to attend the hearing without an interpreter. So.
Yes, Your Honor, and I have the ability to provide it from my office, not to supersede Mr. Perales, but if he does attend last minute, I'll have a plan B.
Okay, great. Thank you. So, Mr. Perales, I appreciate you being here again. He's not going to show up, so I'll let you go. Once again, send us a bill, and I apologize. From now on, we'll let you know. We're not going to call you if we don't think we're going to need you, so I don't want to waste your time. So.
Understood, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for showing up.
Judge,
Okay.
Just for your knowledge, Judge, if you please the court, Brian Denham is currently in recovery from cancer diagnosis. He's been in some pretty strict recovery in some pretty difficult medications. So I'm not sure that he's doing any work, and I have not talked to him about this case.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter when Miss Lewis isn't showing up either, but he was obviously retained.
He was, and then his cancer diagnosis was shortly after that.
Okay, well, I guess he needs to withdraw if he needs to. I'm sorry for him. I'm not trying to downplay that, but I guess if Miss Lewis is not showing up and she's not asking for a court-appointed lawyer, I guess we'll deal with that if she decides to join us ever. So,
yes.
Okay. All right, I appreciate you telling me that, and I'm sorry to hear that, and we'll be praying for him. So, okay, I have no one in the waiting room. Who's your witness going to be, Mr. Halley?
Judge, I anticipated Michelle Slagle being present. She filed a court report, and I talked with her yesterday in depth about this case. I can give you an update if it please the court since Ms. Slagle is not present.
Okay, I have read the report, which was a pretty thorough report, but yeah, you can tell me whatever you need to. It sounds like mom's doing great on her services. She's got the kids back on the monitored return.
Right.
Mr. Garcia sounds like he's completed all his services, and then he had that terrible car wreck, but sounds like he's doing better.
Judge, the status as of right now is that the children are still with mom. Mom had some difficulty. She lost a job a couple of weeks ago, but she now has found new work, and there's an additional possibility of some additional work. So she's doing well. The children had some behaviors because of mom's anxiety due to her loss of job. We are also the children have been in counseling, or the oldest child has been in some counseling to try to relieve some of those anxieties. Dad, Eduardo Garcia, is out of the hospital and is recovering from his accident. His concern, and we've been providing visits for him. Right now, they're primarily virtual, but his concern is that if we stop our reunification, or when we are dismissed from the case, that his visitation will not be. He had some problems with Miss Lewis prior to us removing exercise and visits. So we're going to try to locate the current child support order, which includes a visitation order, and try to follow that in our final. We'd ask that we can be continued until, I think there's 90 more days left in this case. So a dismissal date should be set. We would ask that a final be set just prior to that dismissal date. We should have all of our ducks in a row so we can get this case dismissed at that time.
Okay. Well, I've got a dismissal date of January 12th, and I intend to set the final on January 7th. So that's about as close as we can get to that. So.
That'll work, Your Honor.
Okay. And I read the report. I understand the loss of her job was because they wouldn't let her switch to daytime, and she couldn't take care of the kiddos and work that night shift. So I certainly don't penalize her for picking her kids over her job. And then as far as you've talked about Mr. Garcia, I read that he's going to start having some unsupervised visits, and that as far as transportation, if he can't do it, I read that his brother helps him. So, and then Mr. Hoosers, we've not heard anything from him. So
that's correct, Your Honor. And I don't anticipate hearing anything from him, but we're not at this point in time looking at any termination, so we're ready to proceed.
Right. Okay. All right then. Ms. Grant, did you have anything to add? Mr. Albee covered it pretty thorough from the report I read.
Not really, Your Honor, other than if we can locate that previous order and Mr. Albee and I could work out some visitation. I don't even think a mediation necessarily would be a full-scale mediation, but we could probably present an agreed order in the next 90 days if we can work out that previous order.
That sounds good. I mean, it sounds to me like if it's, most of them end up, eventually working into a standard possession order. If that's what it is, I certainly wouldn't.
Yes.
I wouldn't deviate from that anyway. So yeah, I think
that would be my anticipation, Judge.
Okay. All right then. Mr. Harris, anything you need to add?
I don't, Judge. Sounds like the parents are doing what they're supposed to do outside of showing up for hearings. But
yeah, okay.
They're working their services, and I think the girls are doing the best they can with mom having a little bit of anxiety. But I think the placement is safe and appropriate, and I ask that everything be continued.
All right. Okay. All right then, Ms. Talley, does CASA have anything to add?
Nothing to add, Your Honor. We're in agreement with all parties.
All right, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, continue the kiddo's current placement back with mom. I will set the final hearing, as I said, for January 7th, 2026. And again, if everything's worked out and you guys have come up with a visitation plan for Mr. Garcia, I'll entertain a agreed order if we can do it. Some of the lawyers think they need to put something on the record for a final, some don't. But I'll sign an agreed order, or we'll have hopefully a real short hearing on the 7th.
Yes.
Okay. All right then. We'll be in recess on this case. I'll be back at 10 o'clock to call another Gray County case. That's a placement review after final order involving the Linganfelter child. So we'll be in recess. Everybody have a good weekend. This is a permanency review after final order involving the Linganfelter child. Mr. Albie's with us for the department. Casa is with us. Mr. Harris is with us representing the child. Mr. Pirtle's with us representing the father, Matthew Linganfelter. He is not with us. Ms. Grant's with us representing the mother, Leslie Linganfelter. She's not with us. Were y'all expecting your clients?
Judge, I think my client has to work today. He couldn't get off.
Same announcement.
Okay, all right. That's kind of sounds like what I read from the report too. Their work schedule is pretty strenuous. So, okay. I have Jennifer Campos as my only one in the waiting room.
And Judge, she'll be the St. Francis Ministries Permanency Specialist
Okay.
who will be testifying today.
All right, let me get her in. All right, she's with us. Mr. Albie, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would call Ms. Jennifer Campos.
All right. Ms. Campos, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Albie, you may proceed.
Ms. Campos, currently you are the St. Francis Ministries Permanency Specialist who has undertaken to observe this particular case on John Linganfelter.
Yes, sir.
You have only been involved in this case for 45 to 60 days. Would you agree?
Yes, sir.
The prior caseworker was Cassie Kopic,
That's correct.
and St. Francis thought that it might help improve our recommendations in this case if we had a second set of eyes to look over what was going on.
Yes, sir.
In the time, and do you recall exactly when you took over this case?
I took over this case August 21st, I believe.
And in the time that you have been involved in this case, have you observed, first of all, the child in his current environment?
Yes, sir, I have.
And do you have any concerns with the child in his current foster placement?
No, sir, I do not.
And that foster placement is in Shelby County, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's the same placement that this child has been placed in for quite some time now.
Yes, sir, I believe 2 years.
And that's a medical needs foster family, and that particular foster family has been able to adequately take care of this young man and all of his special needs.
Yes, sir, they have.
And do you have any concerns with the care being given to the child in that foster placement?
I do not.
Child's father is Matthew Linganfelter.
Yes, sir.
They are currently employed with Walmart in Borger, Texas.
When I went out to visit them this past week on Wednesday, Matthew had actually let me know that he had switched jobs and he is working at the Dollar Tree there in Pampa.
And they both reside in Pampa.
That is correct.
In our agreements that were reached prior to about this time last year, the Linganfelters agreed to do monthly trips to see their child in his current foster placement. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir. That's my understanding.
And do your records reflect that they have not made monthly trips to see the child?
That is correct.
When was the last time that you are aware that they went to see the child in person?
The last time that I was made aware was at the end of August, I believe. They were supposed to see him in September, but there was some issues with the hotel. I had sent everything in and thought the reservation was confirmed. I was also traveling at that time. So the last time was in August.
Did they attempt, or did anybody attempt to schedule a visit for October?
Yes, we had asked parents if they were going to go in October, and they had stated no because of court and work.
Part of our agreement was that St. Francis Ministries and the Texas Department of Family Protective Services would help alleviate some of the cost of those monthly visits.
That is correct.
And at this time, are we requesting that the court stop or discontinue that order so that we can see if the Linganfelters have the capacity, financial capacity, to be able to make those visits on a regular basis without the help of the department?
Yes, sir.
In addition, are you aware of any child support orders that are made from the Linganfelters to help alleviate some of the costs that the foster family is out at this point in time?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? You cut out. I apologize.
I apologize. I'm in my office, and sometimes internet here is sporadic. In any event, are you aware of any child support orders for either of the Linganfelters to have to pay child support?
I'm not aware of any orders. No, sir.
Do you know how much either of them are making at any of their jobs?
I do not know how much they are making. I personally have not seen any check stubs.
Would you ask the court today to order that they provide us with check stubs to show what their compensation for their work is?
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you agree with me that it would still be unsafe for John to be returned to Matthew and Leslie at this time,
Yes, sir, I do.
contrary to his general welfare?
Yes, sir.
You're asking the court to continue the department as permanent managing conservator of John and leave his current placement where it is?
Yes, sir.
Now, as far as placement is concerned, we understand that there are difficulties for the Linganfelters to get to Shelby County to see this child because of the distance.
Yes, sir.
Have you specifically made a request for a placement, a medical needs placement that would be able to meet John's needs that is closer to Pampa, Texas?
I am actually working on his Common App, and we'll be submitting it so that way we can see if we can't find a home closer to Pampa where parents are able to travel to.
And have you reviewed the records to see that the prior caseworker, Cassie Kopic, had actually asked for a closer placement during the time when she was the worker?
Yes, sir.
And there hasn't been a home that meets John's needs that was closer found at this point in time?
That is correct.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Grant?
Ms. Campos, Are you aware that or let me correct that. Ms. Campos, did you write the court report that was submitted in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And so in your court report on several different sections, you indicate that finances for travel is a significant barrier for these parents, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And yet your recommendation today is to cut off further support for travel?
Yes, to have parents take accountability to make the reservations and things like that.
Okay, how will cutting off financial aid for the travel help in the responsibility for making the reservations? Would that put it all on them?
Yes,
Okay, and then on top of cutting off that support, you're asking today that they be charged child support, correct?
yes,
Okay,
to help
are
with
you,
medical. Sorry.
okay, oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you, my apologies. And are you aware that this case is currently under a mediated settlement agreement that is a binding agreement already signed by all parties, including the department?
I'm aware that there was a mediation agreement. Yes.
Have you reviewed that agreement?
I have not. No, ma'am.
Okay, so you are not aware that that agreement did not require child support or removal of any travel support?
That's correct. I'm not aware of that. No, ma'am.
Okay, Cassie Kopic was the person that signed on behalf of the department, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so are you asking that the mediated settlement agreement be set aside in favor of the orders that you're asking for today, or do you have the ability to answer that question?
I don't think I have the ability to answer that question.
Thank you. Do you object to the mediated settlement agreement being set aside? I can ask that a different way. Would you be agreeable to returning to mediation as the new caseworker?
Yes, I would be.
Pass the witness, Judge.
All right, Mr. Pirtle?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Campos, how far away is the child placed?
The child is placed approximately about 8.5 hours away.
Okay. What's the closest big city that the child's next to?
Probably Dallas.
Okay. Now, I know you said today that you're going to seek closer foster home. Do you know if there are any available right now that are certified for the child's medical needs?
I am not sure what we have available. I just have to submit it to our placement team and they look.
Well, now, do you know what it cost approximately to go there and come back for gas and a hotel room?
Let's see.
We know it's a lot. Ms. Campos, you don't have to sit there and try and do it in your head.
That's fine.
Yes, I drove it, so I know it's a lot.
Yes, I understand. So anyway, have you in your report, don't you state that their finances are a barrier to them seeing their child?
Yes.
Okay, so is it going to benefit them or the child for support to be taken away from the department to help them with their travel expenses?
It won't benefit them, no.
I understand you want them to take responsibility for seeing their child, but are they at fault for their child to be placed so far away?
No, sir, they're not.
Okay. Now, they've taken all the courses that CPS has asked them to do, haven't they?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and they've even gone over and above those courses. And I know my client Matthew's taken extra things, hasn't he?
Yes, sir, I believe so.
Okay, so why aren't they ready to have their child placed back with them now?
I don't think that they fully capably understand what it's going to take care of this child. Medicaid, I mean, doesn't pay for everything. Traditional Medicaid doesn't pay for everything. How are they going to support this child? How are they going to be able to afford his medical equipment and things like that? That's what concerns me. And the feedings, he can't eat regular food. and stuff like that. It has to be soft and cut up, and not saying that they can't do it, but it, it worries me. Are they capable of, making sure that everything is properly done? I have not seen that. I'm not there on their visits, so I'm not 100% sure on what they do on their visits. So they could know it, but I do know that it takes a lot to take care of a medically needy child.
All right. I pass the witness.
All right. Mr. Harris?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Mr.
Your Honor,
Ellington?
I'm sorry.
What?
I got ahead of Mr. Alvey. My apologies, Judge. I had another question.
Go ahead.
Judge, I wanted to produce an exhibit in this case, and I've emailed it to all the parties, including you, so you didn't have to get that forwarded from Brittany. But I would like to submit as an exhibit the mediated settlement agreement that is on file in this case that contains the requirement for the department to provide the travel expenses for the parents, and would just like the court to be able to take judicial notice of the mediated settlement agreement on file and enter it as an exhibit.
Okay, any objections?
No.
Okay. I've read it before. Stacy, the program we have, it has to go through all sorts of scanning processes, blah, blah, blah. I know what it says, but I'm well aware of what it says, so I will go ahead and admit, I'll go ahead and admit it as Petitioner's Exhibit 1, and I will take judicial notice of it since I have read it. So,
can we not do petitioners? Can we call it mom or dad? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not Petitioner's Exhibit.
That's okay. It would be Mother's Exhibit 1, Your Honor.
Yeah, Mother's Exhibit 1 is admitted. And you'll need to get that to Amy too, then, since we've actually admitted it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, then. Mr. Alvey, did you have any other witnesses?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Grant, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor. I would just ask that any revisions to any financial agreements go through a second mediation if the court sees fit, and that we don't make any changes until we can properly review the parents' finances based on the change of jobs for the father.
All right. Mr. Pearl, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Judge Rest.
All right. Mr. Harris, recommendations?
Your Honor, I say it every time. This is a tough one. I mean, because I know these parents love this kiddo, but he's got a ton of issues, and I don't necessarily know if they have the want to. I don't know if they have the knowledge to do it. And I definitely do not think they have the finances to do it. With regard to any sort of recommendation with cutting off funds for these parents or making them pay support, I don't believe that's in John's best interest at this point. It just may make the parents destitute more than they unfortunately already are and not be able to see the child. So I believe his current placement is safe and appropriate, and if we can get him anywhere closer with the same level of care that he's receiving in Shelby County, that's what I'd shoot for.
Okay, I agree totally. Costa, anything to add?
Your Honor, we agree with Mr. Harris, and we would be happy to attend a second mediation since the visitation laid out in the first mediation hasn't been followed. Anything that can maybe get this case moving forward, we would be in favor of.
All right. Okay. Well, first of all, procedurally, it's my opinion that I'm not going to step in and bust up a mediated settlement agreement. I don't think I have the ability to do that. So I think procedurally there'd have to be a motion to modify filed before I would change anything that's involved in a mediated settlement agreement. So that having been said, then I will continue the department as permanent managing conservator, continue the parents as permanent possessory conservators, continue the current placement. I will order the parents provide the Department of St. Francis proof of their income by November 1st, 2025. I'm not going to order it to mediation yet because I'm not changing anything in the mediated settlement agreement until somebody files a motion to modify it. I'm not going to cut off any funds that were agreed to in mediation. I'm not going to set child support when child support was specifically agreed in mediation wouldn't be set. So, yeah, this is a tough one. I can see, and I don't mean to demean what they're doing, but the parents, this kid is thriving where he's at now. So I don't want to upset that apple cart. And I don't know how close the nearest Walmart is or the nearest Dollar Tree is, but these parents may have to decide if we can't get John closer to them, maybe they need to move closer to John. Those jobs, I mean, there's lots of jobs out there right now. I don't think anybody can deny that. So, you know, if they were in some kind of specialized field, I would feel differently, but I sympathize with the parents' position, but at some point, if we can't find a better place for John, then they're going to have to move closer and find jobs closer to where John is. So that's the long and short of it.
We've begun those conversations with them, Your Honor, and hopefully we can come up with some opportunities.
Great. I would, you know, if we find a place closer for John where he can get the same level of care, that would be great too. But one or the other is going to have to happen, I think, before we're going to get this thing off of High Center. So, okay. I'll set our next review hearing for April 15th, 2026. It will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing, so everybody can go on the court's online docket a day or two before April 15th to see what time we'll have that hearing. That's a bad day. That's income tax day. Nobody wants to have a hearing that day. But
It's a big day for me, Your Honor.
okay. We'll be in recess on this case. I'll be back at 10:45 to call a Wheeler County case. That's a compliance hearing on the Darnell children. So we'll be in recess. Everybody have a good weekend.
Thank you, Judge. Everybody
Thank
have a
you,
good
Judge.
weekend.
You
Bye-bye.
too. May I be excused, Your Honor? I just finished my last one.
Yes, ma'am, you may.
Have a good day.
You too. This is a compliance hearing following an order to participate involving the Darnell children. Mr. Howey's with us for the department. Mr. Nowak's with us representing the children. Mr. Pirtle's with us representing the mother, Miss Darnell, who's with us. Mr. Michelson's with us representing the father, Mr. Keys, who's with us. That is all the parties. I don't believe I have anybody in the waiting room, so we are ready to proceed. Mr. Howey?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would call Ms. Brianne Cano.
Okay. Ms. Cano, if you'd unmute. Thank you, ma'am. If you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Albee.
Ms. Cano, you're a FBS worker working with the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
That's correct.
In that capacity, you are familiar with Jessica Darnell and Cody Key, who have been ordered to work services?
Yes.
The children that reside with them are Catherine and Lillian.
Yes.
Is Jessica working the services that she was ordered to work?
Yes, she is.
Has she completed or substantially completed most of those services?
Yes.
Any specific services that she has not completed that she is still working on?
She's still enrolled with individual counseling.
Are there any services that you would request the court to order that she work at this time?
No, sir.
Cody Key was also ordered to work services. Has he begun working any of the services that he was ordered?
He started individual counseling, but he hasn't been participating in any services at this time.
Does Mr. Key and Miss Darnell still reside together?
No, they're not.
And the reason that Mr. Key was ordered to work services was because Miss Darnell was living with him and he was in the home with the children.
That's correct.
Any particular reason at this point in time to include him in any further orders for services?
If they have no intentions of being together now or in the future, then I don't see a reason to keep him involved.
In the meantime, Miss Darnell is working the services that she's been ordered to work, and she's taking care of her children.
At this time, the children are actually in a PCSP
And why is that?
because we recently got an intake of physical abuse from Kobe Key abusing Lillian, so we had to place out of the home.
And that is partially the reason that Miss Darnell and Mr. Key are no longer together, and she's advised you that she intends not to get back with him.
That's correct.
Would you agree with me that we need to continue Miss Darnell on the services that she's working so that we can make sure that it would be safe for the children once the PCSP is run?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll pass the witness.
Brianne, who are the children placed with in this PCSP?
Maternal Uncle and Aunt. Justin and Amber Darnell.
All right, and where do they live?
They reside in Shamrock.
Okay. You may not know the answer to this, but is there a plan that anytime soon these kids will be placed back with Miss Darnell?
No, not right now. At this time, Jessica is not stable. She's currently residing with the co-worker, sleeping on their couch.
Does she work?
And she recently started a job.
Is there any reason, since the kids aren't placed with the parents, is there any reason the parents shouldn't be paying child support?
Judge, it's not because it's a order to participate, it's not a SAP, so I'm not sure that we can order child support at this time.
Okay, wish I could. All right, Mr. Pirtle, questions?
No questions, Judge.
Mr. Michelson?
Thank you. Ms. Kano, you already answered one of my questions about the reason Mr. Key was participating is because he was living with the Darnells, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And go ahead.
I'm sorry, we had got involved originally because of Kobe. He was drinking and driving with the children in the car with him.
Okay. These are not his biological children though, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And the reason he was involved with services is because he was in the home.
That's correct.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Nowak?
Thank you, Judge. Briefly, Ms. Kano, it's always good to see you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Has there been any recent outcries from Lillian regarding Catherine?
Catherine, her sister?
Yes, ma'am.
From Lillian?
Yes, ma'am.
Not that I'm aware of.
Gotcha. When's the last time you talked to Amber placement?
On Wednesday.
Okay. Okay. Judge, that's all I have. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anybody have any further questions for Ms. Kano?
No questions.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Albee, anything further?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Pirtle, did you have any witnesses?
No witnesses, Judge. Rest.
Mr. Michelson?
No witnesses. We rest.
All right. So, Ms. Kano, what's the end goal here? What are we doing? We're just hoping that Miss Darnell will finish her services and having learned from her services, and then maybe the kids will go back to her?
Yes, sir. And she's just not stable at this time. And whenever we did go out there to her home, the children were in really bad shape. The baby, she was really dirty. She looked malnourished. She had a dirty diaper. She was covered in bug bites. So we just want to make sure that she is able to maintain the kids' health and a stable home.
Okay. Well, I guess what I'm saying here, guys, is this sounds a lot more like a removal case to me than it does this participation. We've got physical abuse by the father and apparently neglectful supervision by mom. So I may give this one more shot, but if something doesn't change, I may be ordering a removal. So, all right, Mr. Nowak, any recommendations?
Yes, sir. I have some recommendations, just very brief comments. I recommend to maintain the current placement and the current order and certainly encourage mom to work services. Judge, we had a Teams meeting on October 15th where mom and placement participated, and my comments are now directed towards you, Ms. Darnell. You really need to check your attitude at the door. Everyone in that meeting and everyone on the screen right now really wants to help you. And when you attend doctor's appointments with placements, again, that's not a place for attitude. You know, your brother and sister-in-law are stepping up to the plate right now when you should be stepping up. So it's just time to make a decision what you want to do with these children. Judge, thank you so much for letting me say that.
I appreciate you saying that. Brittany, would you look for me a hearing date end of November or very early December?
Yes, let me look real quick.
Judge, once again, we need to reference that Mr. Key is not the father to any of these children, and that his reasons for participating or for being ordered to participate was because he was in the same home with Miss Darnell.
I got you. I'm not ordering anything for him other than he's to have no contact with the children whatsoever.
Thank you, Judge.
And Judge, just so you're aware, the dismissal date on the O2P is November 17th.
Okay, so
And I
let's go
think
ahead.
our next hearing date's November 14th.
Well, did we have another? I didn't have a date for November 14th. I didn't even have that as an option.
That's just another date that we're going to have hearings.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
before
offer
the
that date.
But we haven't extended this motion to participate, have we?
No.
So we could do that.
I would move that we do that at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. Any objections to that? Okay.
No, sir.
Your Honor, I would object on behalf of Jessica Darnell. She's working her services and she's going to get them done before the final date for this case. I know she doesn't want to extend it.
Well, you got any proof for me that she's going to get it done before then, Mr. Pirtle, or is that just a pipe dream?
It's I'll talk right now, Judge.
Okay. All right. Okay, then I will order that Ms. Darnell continue to work the services as previously ordered. I will enter an order extending this participation case. I will order there be no contact whatsoever of any type, whether in person, virtual, phone, between Mr. Key and the children. And I will set the next compliance hearing for November 14th, 2025. It will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing. So parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before November 14th to see when we'll have that hearing. Mr. Albee, is your intention to dismiss Mr. Key from this case?
It will be, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Key, you don't have to join us anymore because you're not going to be part of the case. But you may be back in this case, or you may be held in contempt if you try to have any kind of contact with these children. All right. This was our last case for the day, so we will stand in recess. Everybody have a good weekend.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a great weekend, y'all. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Judge. Have a good weekend.
You too. Amy, I see you week from Monday.
Yeah. Have a good week.
Oh, no, I've got to go to a judicial conference. That's not a good week.
You'll learn a lot. I'm sure it'll be totally